Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel or series videos. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. In this video, I'll be updating you on Aparajita. Akshay confesses his love for Aparajita in front of Mohini. Mohini could not take it. In this particular update, Aparajita says, "I love you" to Akshay, shocking everyone. You need to watch till the end to find out how it happened. Please don't forget to click on the like button. It will help this video a lot. Let's go. Aparajita is in the room. Akshay comes there and tries to get her attention. He comes closer while she's arranging his medicines. Akshay says, "It's been 4 years since we are married, but you are still shy. I know you love me way more than I love, but you never say or show it." Aparajita asks, how did he reach home with Mohini? Akshay says, "Someone is jealous. It means Mohini was right about you." Aparajita is shocked and asks, "What did she say about me? How did you go with her to her room and on her bed?" Akshay says, "I fainted, so I reached her room suddenly." Aparajita says, "Why didn't you tell me? What did she say?" Akshay says, "I thought she was lying, but now I think she was saying the truth." Aparajita says, "The doctor said you can't have stress. So tell me what she said." Akshay says, "You have to answer my 'I love you' first, and then I will tell you." Aparajita is shocked. Aparajita tells Akshay that, "What are you saying?" Akshay says, "I am your husband, so I confessed my love, and now it's your turn. You have to confess your love, and then I will tell you what Mohini said." Aparajita says, "Why are you so stubborn?" Akshay says, "The choice is yours." He leaves. Aparajita sits down and silently cries, recalling Akshay saying "I love you" to her, and how Daddy worried that Mohini might harm Akshay by trying to force him to remember everything. Aparajita is looking around for Akshay in the house. He comes to her and smiles. He says, "You couldn't stay away from me, right? Just say you love me." Aparajita says, "I have to know how you fainted." Akshay hugs her from behind and says, "It's important for me to hear you say you love me first." Aparajita feels hot and broken. Akshay says, "You can't say it? Fine, I will leave." Aparajita recalls how Akshay left her 15 years ago, how Mohini took her Marga Sutra and threw her out of the house, while Akshay took her side. She turns to see Akshay leaving the house, but she says, "Akshay, I love you." Akshay smiles and looks at her. Aparajita looks away and silently cries. Akshay says, "Finally." Bapi is outside the house and hears it. Akshay says, "I wouldn't have left either way, but it's good that you confessed. I love you too." He turns her around and sees her crying. He says, "Why are you crying? I am not going anywhere, and not to that Mane's sister. You know she said that we have issues in our marriage. Why is she and Manish living in our house? That house has changed totally. Is there something I don't remember?" He starts getting dizzy. So Aparajita gets worried. Akshay says, "You love me, right? Why did you hesitate in saying you love me?" He hugs her tightly and says, "I trust you. I don't care about anything else if you love me. If you are not hiding anything, then I don't want to know anything." Aparajita says, "Let's go to the room." She takes him to the bed and gives him his meds. She asks him to rest, but Akshay holds her hand. He says, "When you said that you love me, it made me like I felt rain in the desert. Like you made me promise that I would never leave you. I promised that your Akshay would never leave you." Aparajita asks him to rest and leaves. Aparajita comes to the man there and cries. She says, "I am helping Akshay because of humanity's sake. So why are you bringing up my past? Why can't you make him fine so he can live to his world? It hurts me to know that I am living with Akshay, who I loved dearly. The person I couldn't live without, but then he left me. I didn't complain to you. I had to overcome so much pain to become independent. But then you took away his memory and made him that Akshay again from 20 years ago. I am doing all this for my kids, so keep it in limit. Please stop this and don't take my test this way. I am not that strong. She sits silently and sobs. Chavi is in her room when Veer comes there. He hugs her tightly and says, I was missing you, so I came here. Chavi says, like this, it's not okay. Veer says, what auntie is doing, is it right? She doesn't trust me still. Chavi says it's not like that. Veer says she still thinks that I am a bad man. I want to spend my life with you, but she doesn't agree. Aparajita is coming there, so Veer hides. Aparajita asks Chavi why does she look worried. Where is Disha and Asha? Chavi says they are in the laundry. Aparajita says I am going to the doctor to talk about Akshay's health. Just keep an eye on him till then. Veer hides and hears all that. Aparajita leaves. Chavi tells Veer to keep hiding here, as Disha and Asha might see you. She leaves from there. Veer smirks and says, I just want a chance to go to Akshay. Akshay comes to Daddy and asks where is Chavi. She says she is in the laundry. Akshay says, what laundry? Daddy says, I mean Chavi's teacher took her to the laundry. Akshay asks her to protect the red box that he gave her. Daddy thinks he's talking about a box he gave me 20 years ago for Aparajita. Daddy tells Disha, Asha and Chavi about the red box. She asks them to bring the box from Mohini's house without her knowing. Chavi thinks Veer is in my room, so I can't leave. She says we all can't go as we have to take care of Akshay. Daddy says I will take care of him. Veer tells Chavi that Akshay can't take care of Akshay. When you are about to come back, then give me a message. Till then, I will take care of Akshay. Chavi hugs him and leaves. Veer thinks all are gone from the house, except Daddy, so no one can stop me from killing Akshay Singh. Veer comes to Akshay's room and sees him sleeping. He thinks I can't take any chance. The doctor meets with Aparajita and tells her that Akshay fainting is not good. Did something happen? Aparajita says he was forced to remember things. The doctor says, you know that can't happen, as it can kill him. Aparajita tells the doctor that you can come and see Akshay once. He says you will have to wait till I check my patients. She says I can't wait, so the doctor leaves. Aparajita feels restless and thinks, why am I feeling stressed? She says I have to keep Akshay away from Mohini to keep him safe. But why do I feel so restless? Veer looks at Akshay and thinks if your memory comes back, then you might spill about me, so I have to kill you. He starts suffocating him with a pillow. Akshay tries to fight but loses it, becomes lifeless. Veer smirks. Mohini and Minaj talk to their doctor online. He says it's not a small thing that he lost his memory, so he needs care and patience. Mohini says, you mean to say we should be silent and don't do anything? Manish ends the call. Mohini is angry and says he is useless. Manish says Akshay loved Aparajita, but then he left her for you, so don't worry. Mohini says Akshay didn't love me. I loved him first, and I impressed him. I created space in life as I get what I want. Nia hides and hears all that. Chavi, Disha and Asha are outside Mohini's house. They are planning to get the red box when Aparajita calls Chavi. She asks if Akshay is okay. Chavi is worried and says yes, he is okay. Aparajita ends the call and thinks, why am I feeling so restless still? Disha tells Chavi to go and look after Akshay. Akshay coughs and kicks Veer suddenly. He takes off his eyes mask and says, who are you? Veer is wearing a mask, so Akshay can't see him. Akshay grabs him and says, who are you? They both fight. Chavi enters the house and thinks Veer must be here to take care of Akshay. Akshay grabs Veer and is about to take off his mask, but Veer hits him on the head, so Akshay screams in pain. Chavi hears that and starts running, but trips and falls down. She limps to his room. Veer is about to hit Akshay, but hears Chavi coming there, so he runs from there. Chavi screams, Papa. Aparajita brings the doctor home and hears Chavi screaming for Akshay. She rushes to Akshay and sees him unconscious. Aparajita hugs him tightly while the doctor checks him. Disha and Asha enter Mohini's house. They start looking for the safe key. Nia asked Mohini, how did you meet Dad 20 years ago? What happened between you both? Don't lie to me. You said there was nothing between Dad and Aparajita aunt, but I heard you talking to Manish that they love each other, but you trapped Dad. You lured him. Disha hears that outside their room. Mohini tells Nia that you are a kid, so you won't understand. Nia says you can't lie to me anymore. Mohini says fine, I tried luring him because I liked him. I made him fall in love with me because I liked him. The biggest truth is, if Akshay and Aparajita loved each other, then he wouldn't have come close to me. My mistake was that I fell in love with him, and I did what a girl in love would do. You might not understand it today, but when you fall in love, then you will realize. Disha and Asha starts leaving. Disha's phone rings, so she starts running from there. But Mohini comes out of the room and asks, what are you doing here? What is this box you are stealing? Disha says, this is Daddy's box, so we are taking it. Mohini says, you are stealing and showing ego too. I will call the police. Nia stops her and says, it's their house too, so they can't be stealing anything. The doctor checks Akshay. Aparajita asks Chavi, where were you and how did this happen? Chavi cries and calls Asha. She tells them so. Asha asks what happened to him. Mohini looks on. The doctor checks Akshay and says his pulse is normal, but we have to get his CT scan done. Mohini and others come there too. Mohini is worried and asks, how did this happen? She glares at Aparajita and says, this is how you are taking care of him? She cries and asks Akshay to wake up. The doctor asks everyone to leave the room and accept Aparajita. He asks Mohini to leave, but she says, I am his wife, so I will stay here. She can't even take care of him. Aparajita says enough. She pulls her back from Akshay and throws her out of the room. She says, I told you to not do anything that will harm his health. She locks the door on her face. Akshay murmurs Aparajita's name and wakes up. She asks what happened to you. Akshay says there was a robber in the house. He attacked me. I tried beating him, but I don't remember. The doctor asks him to rest and leaves. Aparajita thinks, I know Veer might have come to attack Akshay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more updates from your favorite Z Word series.